Ready for a deep dive into a bond that's fascinated seekers for centuries? We're talking about the guru-disciple relationship, and we'll be using your excerpts from the Anurag Sagar.
Which, by the way, translates to Ocean of Love.
Oh, really? Okay, talk about setting the mood. But here's the thing. Forget any preconceived notions you might have about gurus. This isn't about blind faith. It's about a transformative journey of self-discovery.
Exactly. I mean, the term guru literally means dispeller of darkness. Think of a guru as a guide, a mentor. But the Anurag Sagar, it really emphasizes the active role of the disciple in this relationship. It's not just passive following.
Gotcha. So let's unpack that a bit. One thing that struck me while reading this text was the vivid, imagery. We're talking mountains, oyster shells, oceans, even the moon. What's the deal with all these metaphors? It's like a fever dream in here.
Well, it's about using those familiar images, those metaphors, to illustrate these deeper truths. So take the mountain or even the oyster shell. They represent the guru's steadfastness, solid foundation. And the disciple, they're receptive, like an oyster receiving a grain of sand that eventually becomes a pearl.
So you're saying that for the listener, this means cultivating that inner stillness, that receptivity, so you're ready to receive the teachings and let them shape you, just like that pearl forming.
Precisely. And it goes even deeper than that. The text compares the guru's wisdom to a vast ocean. The disciple, they're like a wave within it.
So it's not just about absorbing these individual lessons, but understanding you're part of this lineage, this whole tradition of wisdom, and you're adding to that ocean too, through your own practice.
Exactly. You're part of something much larger than yourself, constantly learning and evolving. And then there's the moon, reflecting the sun's light.
Which actually reminds me of this one line from a poem, "The moon is a loyal companion, it never leaves." And it got me thinking. So the Anurag Sagar is saying that the guru reflects this divine light, kind of guiding the disciple toward their own inner illumination.
Yes. Just as the moon reflects the sun's brilliance, the guru can help us to see our own potential, our own inner light, not just, their knowledge.
Wow, that's a powerful image. And it makes me think about the importance of choosing our influences carefully, whether it's teachers, mentors, or even the information we consume every day. It's about aligning yourself with sources that resonate with your values, your aspirations.
You've hit on a crucial point. Just as a disciple chooses their guru wisely, we all need to be discerning about where we seek guidance and knowledge.
And that's something we'll come back to later, because I'm curious how these ancient ideas apply in our modern world. But first, we've got to talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the ocean of love in the room. The Anurag Sagar talks a lot about love in the context of this guru-disciple relationship. And I have to admit, when I first read that, I thought, okay, is this romantic love? What's going on here? So we've been talking about mountains and oceans, but the Anurag Sagar keeps bringing up this other, powerful force in this whole guru-disciple thing, love. And I have to admit, when I first read that, I was kind of thrown. I was like, okay, are we talking romantic love here? What's going on?
It's a great question. And honestly, it highlights how we often bring our own assumptions to these ancient texts.
Right.
And no, this isn't about romantic love. The Anurag Sagar is talking about unwavering devotion, a deep commitment to the guru's teachings, embodying them in every aspect of your life.
So it's less about warm, fuzzy feelings and more about really living these principles, putting them into practice.
Exactly. It's about surrendering your ego, your preconceived notions, to embrace this higher truth. It's about aligning yourself so fully with these teachings that they transform you from the inside out.
There's this one passage in the text that really stuck with me. It says, "When the disciple is decided for this kind of love, and when he retains the vision of the master's feet in his heart, the whole world shouts, 'Guru, Guru!'" Whoa! That's intense. What's the Anurag Sagar getting at?
It's such a vivid image, right?
Yeah.
It speaks to the transformative power of this deep connection. It's saying that when your devotion is that pure, that unwavering, it affects not just you, but the world around you. It's like that energy, that resonance, it becomes visible.
That makes me think about those moments when you encounter someone who just seems to radiate a certain energy,
Yeah.
a certain wisdom. You can just tell they're connected to something bigger than themselves.
Yes. And the Anurag Sagar is suggesting that this kind of connection, this transformation, it's available to all of us.
That's a powerful idea. It makes me wonder, though, how can we actually experience that kind of transformation in our own lives? Do we all need to go find Uru on a mountaintop? How do we take these like ancient concepts and apply them in our modern, busy world?
And that's the beauty of these teachings, is their wisdom is timeless. The principles, they apply universally.
Okay, but how?
We may not all have a guru in the traditional sense, but we all have teachers, mentors, sources of inspiration.
So you're saying by embodying the receptivity and devotion of a disciple, we can deepen those relationships, unlock new levels of understanding.
Precisely. It's about approaching learning with humility, an open heart, and a willingness to be transformed by the knowledge we receive. And it's not just about, formal learning either.
You mean like applying this to learning a new skill, or even just like navigating a challenging relationship?
Absolutely. Think about it. That inner stillness and focus cultivated by a disciple in meditation, that's so valuable in our, fast-paced world, no matter what you're doing. It's about finding that inner guru, that source of wisdom and guidance within yourself.
That reminds me of this time I was struggling to learn a new programming language. I was hitting a wall, getting frustrated. But then I remember this whole idea of approaching learning with the mindset of a disciple.
And what happened?
I swear it was like a weight lifted. Instead of approaching it with that frustration, I focused on cultivating that openness, that receptivity we've been talking about. And suddenly things started clicking. It wasn't about the programming language itself, It was about my approach to learning it. That shift in mindset, it made all the difference.
It's amazing how a simple shift in mindset, like bringing in that disciple energy, can completely change the game. And it sounds like it's not just about the, external knowledge or skill, but about our inner state, our inner guru. That's it. That's the core of it. The Anurag Sagar reminds us that this inner guru, this source of wisdom, it resides within each of us. It's about learning to tap into that.
Which kind of brings us full circle to our final thought for today. We've covered so much ground in this deep dive, from those vivid metaphors to, I have to admit, surprising role of love in all this. And we even touched on how these ancient principles, they still resonate in our modern world. But at the end of the day, the most important journey is the one within, wouldn't you say?
It's true. Think about it this way. As you delve into any field of knowledge, or even just a new skill, a new relationship, try to view it through the lens of this guru-disciple dynamic. See which is for you.
Such a powerful image to leave us with. How can we embody that receptivity, that unwavering focus, that deep inner connection to truth? That's something I'm going to be chewing on for a while, and I hope our listeners will too. It's been an incredible deep dive into the Anurag Sagar, and I think the timeless wisdom it offers.